What is going on YouTube? Bryce Builds It All, your favorite A&P IAA and Part 147 instructor, back with another video. And this time I'm going to be changing brake pads on a 172. This is geared towards A&P students getting ready to go test at their DME to get their, the lighting's better here, to get their A&P certificate. But if you're a private pilot and you are an owner or operator of an aircraft, this is something you can do under the guidance of preventative maintenance according to FAR Part 43. So if that interests you, as always, I ask that you stick around. Now I'm going to be working around the camera, so I apologize for any noise if I bump into it, but I've got two arbors set up here. You actually really only need one. I just happen to have two because I guess I'm lucky. I don't know. But you get two pieces. You get this guy right here, which is to punch the old rivets out, and you have this guy right here, which is to press them in. And I'll show you how to use both of these, but I'm gonna get the one with the red handle set up for installing the rivets. The long piece goes in, and I'm gonna set it right here. And I'm gonna get this one set up to push the rivets out. Now it's very important when you push the rivets out that you leave this bottom part open. Give me just a second. Okay, we're gonna edit all of that out because that took entirely too long. But now I have this one set up to punch the rivets out, and I have this one set up to shoot the new rivets. So I'm just gonna show one rivet, but I'll show you the old brake pads. You can see them here. This is my little wear indicator. It's almost completely gone. This is a rental aircraft that flies. It's gone on this side completely. This is a rental aircraft that flies quite regularly, so there is no point in chancing it and thinking it's only going to fly a few more hours. It flies on a regular basis, so I'm going to go ahead and change them, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here is my new Rapco brake lining, and you can see that wear indicator right there. When this is gone, it's time to change. There's your part number. That's your Rapco part number for this lining. I would like to say that not all aircraft are going to use this style of brake pad where you use rivets. However, they are very common. So I'm going to go ahead and do the backing plate. This is the side that goes on the piston side of the caliper. I will clamp this down in here, and let me just move the camera down and show you a little bit better view of this. Okay, you want this pin as centered in that rivet as possible. And it's going to be really difficult to twist it out, but you should be able to do it by hand. I'm going to show you a little trick. You can take the back side of a wrench and sort of put it in here like this to give yourself a little bit more leverage if you need it. And we're just going to go ahead and work this rivet right here the rest of the way out. Okay, so there's that one there. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And the other three, it's basically just rinse and repeat over and over and over again until you get all the rivets out. Okay, so now to install the new ones, I went ahead and took these over to the little steel wool, or not the steel wool, the wire wheel, and cleaned them up so that they're nice and pretty. These are my rivets. There's some RA 105-00200 zeros, good stuff. I will put the rivet inside the brake caliper, or inside the brake lining, I should say. Now what I like to do as I get this installed on here is I like to hold one of them in with my pinky while I squish the other one down. So I'm just going to kind of come over the top of the arbor here. There we go. And then I'll start threading this down until it touches. Again, you want that cone right in the middle of the rivet as close as you can get so that it smushes it down nice and even. The reason I have my pinky on the other one is to keep the brake lining centered. You're just going to tighten it down until you can't really tighten it anymore. You don't need to go crazy tight with it. It's just snug. Again, you don't have to go crazy tight. It's just snug. But there you go. I've got the one. Now I'm going to go ahead and squeeze this other one real fast. I'll put this in here, thread this back down, and do the same thing over again. Now, I will say that I prefer the arbors that you whack with a hammer, just because they're a lot faster than this, and they're not as hard on your hands. But there you go. There's one brake pad installed. I'll go ahead and do this other one, and I'll get back with you. Y'all want to meet Steele? This is the airport dog. It's the maintenance girl. What are you doing? She's a good girl. She comes and hangs out with you. You join me at the wheel. It's time to get it all back together. I've got my caliper here. I'm going to go ahead and get the backing plate on first, like this. And then there's a little spacer that will go in between here and the outer little backing plate. It doesn't matter. I'll slide this in place. And I want to call attention to how far this piston is out. I don't know how well you can see that. So I'm gonna take you off the tripod with one hand and get close. As I put this back in, these are going to draw down. There is no way to avoid it. It's just part of it. And I'll show you in just a second what I did to sort of get around that little fiasco. This is very tough because the wheel's in the way. You've got a spacer to put in here. It's really, none of this is any fun. It's just finagling with it. I might try to get this spacer in before. Here, let's do this. That'll work better. There we go. Get that in there like that. Slide this caliper up in the back of my hand. There's not really a good way to do this. It's just finagle with it. That's a fun word. Until you get everything put together and then tighten it. Tighten it down. Okay, I got that one started. You also, imagine that, you want to be really careful not to cross thread these bolts as you go back together with this. That is very, very easy to cross thread them. You do need to torque them. I would like to mention now, you need to be following, depending on what you're using. I'm using either Cleveland wheels and brakes. Rapco makes parts for them, but I'm following the Cleveland wheels and brakes manual for this, for changing linings, for the torques of all of these. I think these here are like 60 inch-pounds. They might be 90. I'll have to double check. I think they're actually 90. I'll have to double check that. There is no safety wire in these. Some of them are. So if yours are safety wired, you need to safety wire them when you put them back together, and so on and so forth. But there we go. That one's snug. That one is snug. I'll go get the torque wrench and I'll torque them down. But I want to show you what I did. So from my Mustang project, I actually ended up getting a vacuum bleeder. You don't have to use this. You could use anything. But I sucked out a little bit of the excess fluid from the master cylinder. Because what's going to happen is when you compress this caliper out here, that fluid has nowhere to go. And if the reservoir is topped off, which I know it was, then that fluid's gonna go everywhere. So you need to try to get some of that out before you do that. So now I'm gonna show you in here. You can kind of see the wear indicator on this one. Let me get a flashlight. Okay, I got my light. Most important part of an inspection, if you sort of peer down in there on either side of the brake disc, you can see the wear indicators here. And here, just something you can look down at real fast. It's a lot easier to see not on a camera. It's a lot easier to see in real life. But something you can look down real fast to determine the wear of your calipers. So, the wear of your calipers. I meant the wear of your linings. It doesn't matter. But anyways, there you go. That's how you change a brake pad on an aircraft. It was kind of a quick video. Like I said, make sure you're using your approved data for this. In this case, it would have been the Cleveland Wheels and Brakes service catalog and not the AMM or anything else. So I use that. What else do I want to say on it? Make sure you vacuum some of the extra fluid out of there. I'm now going to actually replace the O-ring on the left caliper. It's leaking, so I'm going to have to pull that out, and then I'm going to end up having to, I'm going to end up having to bleed the brakes on the left side. It is what it is. These things happen. It's not the end of the world. It's easy enough to pop a caliper or a piston out of a caliper real fast and change an O-ring. But it has to be done. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm going to finish doing the 100 hour on this aircraft because I go on vacation next week. I will be filming that. I'm really, really excited about it. I've been wanting to go where we're going for several years now. So I will be filming that and uploading it to the channel. Maybe for members, maybe for everybody. I haven't decided yet, but it'll be a good time either way. So as always, y'all go build something and be easy. Brother, fortunately, it's easy enough to replace an O-ring.